3 nights ago, the bombing stopped. Nobody signed anything. That distinction is the whole episode, so hold it. A ceasefire is an agreement. A pause is a supply problem wearing a diplomat's coat. Here's what the board actually says. Trump has hit pause on the Iran war amid reports of depleted American munitions and warnings about stockpiles. He denies that is the reason. And Tehran, given the perfect opening to claim a diplomatic breakthrough, declined it. Iran says it is not seeking talks, and that it still controls the Strait of Hormuz. Think about how strange that is. When two sides stop shooting because they have agreed something, both rush to announce it. Here, one side stops shooting and says it was not about ammunition, and the other side says there is nothing to talk about. Two denials, no agreement, and the gun's quiet anyway. That is not diplomacy. That is two people who both need a break, and neither of whom will say so. And remember what this was sold as. The president insisted this would be a relatively short excursion. It has now run nearly 5 months with no end in sight. The war has cost $37.5 billion, a rise of almost $8 billion since the May estimate. And the defense secretary told the Senate Appropriations Committee that military training would have to be curtailed unless lawmakers approve an urgent funding boost. Read that last part again slowly, because it is the tell. Training gets curtailed when the things training consumes are the same things the war is consuming. You do not cut training to save money. You cut training to save inventory. Now let me connect this to the 2 weeks before it, because this channel has been building one argument, and this is where it lands. 2 episodes ago, we showed you Washington voting the war a record budget before it had honestly counted the cost. Last time, we showed you the Pentagon lowering its own death toll from 18 to 14 and pulling 4 names off its website. In the same week, a Republican congressman accused the defense secretary of splitting one war into 2 on paper to avoid a congressional authorization vote. Those are all the same move. Fund it before you count it, trim the count, split the war so neither half is big enough to require a vote. Every one of them is a way of keeping a number underneath the line where somebody would have to decide something. And here is why this week matters. There is exactly one number in a war that you cannot manage that way. You can lower a death toll on a web page. You cannot lower it on a pallet. Ammunition is the one figure that does not care what the department publishes, does not respond to a reclassification, and cannot be split into 2 wars for accounting purposes. It is physical. It is in a bunker, or it is not. So for months, the thresholds that could have stopped this war were all made of paper, and paper is editable. This week, the war hit a threshold made of steel, and it stopped. I want to be careful here, because the board does not say a general walked into the Oval Office and said, "We are out." The board says the pause came amid reports of depletion, and that the president denies it. That gap is real, and I am not going to paper over it. But notice that the denial is unprompted, and notice what has to be true for the alternative explanation to hold. If this is diplomacy, there is a counterparty. Tehran has publicly said there is not. Here is my read, and I am flagging it as a read. Both sides needed this pause, and neither can afford to say so, which is exactly why it will hold for a while, and exactly why it will not hold for long. Washington needs to restock, and a pause framed as giving talks some space buys that time without admitting a limit. Tehran needs to survive, and to be seen surviving, and a pause it did not ask for and does not credit to negotiation lets it claim it outlasted the bombing. Both of those are served by silence. Neither is served by a signature. Cui bono? Who benefits from a stoppage that nobody calls an agreement? The side that is reloading, and the side that wants the world to believe it won. A signed ceasefire would cost each of them the thing the pause gives them for free. The historical twin is the December bombing of North Vietnam in 1972. 11 days of maximum effort that stopped when losses, ordnance, and political tolerance all ran out at once, and which is remembered as the campaign that forced Hanoi back to the table. Where the twin misleads is important. There, the halt came with a signature behind it. Here there is no table. Iran says it is not seeking talks, so the mechanism rhymes and the ending does not, which is the honest way to use a twin. Now let me score our own call, because a channel that makes predictions and then quietly moves on is not worth watching. Last week, we predicted that by the end of August, there would be no congressional authorization vote, that the strikes would still be running, and that the official death toll would be higher than 14. On the vote, we are holding. On the toll, the count has moved our way. On the strikes still running, we are currently wrong, and I am saying that plainly. What I will not do is quietly rewrite it. A pause is not a resolution, and the board does not show one, but the honest position tonight is that our call is under strain. Bottom line, for 5 months this war was managed by editing numbers, and every one of those numbers was made of paper. This week, it met a number made of steel, and the bombing stopped within days. Watch the restock, not the rhetoric. The moment the shelves are full, the reason for the quiet disappears, and nothing anyone signed will be holding it in place. If this breakdown helped you see the week clearly, hit like. It is free and it tells us to keep drawing the board. And subscribe, because the board moves every day, so you catch the pieces before they move.